And the word in the Bahamas right now is it is too late to get out. With Dorian on their doorstep, people are forced to weather this and hunker down, especially in two islands that are directly in Dorian's path. Abaco Island and Grand Bahama, the northernmost chain part of the Bahamas, where right now people have already evacuated in anticipation of Dorian's arrival come later today. And we have some video just in showing the waves and the winds starting to pick up in Abaco Island, which is where Dorian will first make landfall. We know that power was turned off there by the power company in anticipation of Dorian moving in to make sure there weren't any electrical issues. And up and down the Bahamas, people have been keeping an incredibly close eye on its path due to the ever-shifting nature of this hurricane, which, as you mentioned, is now a Category 5. The Bahamas has very low elevation, putting it at great risk for this storm surge, estimated anywhere from 10 to 15 feet, that could be washing inland, putting hundreds in danger. I had a chance to speak to the commander of a local search and rescue operation who tells me that they've gone ahead and pre-positioned a lot of their gear ahead of time in those areas where they think Dorian may hit the hardest. But he says, Morgan, it doesn't matter how many of these hurricanes you go through, it never gets any easier. And right now, a great sense of uneasiness in the Bahamas, especially in those two northernmost islands where Dorian has already started to show itself. Harry?
Wow, Morgan Chesky, thanks. Those few sandbags aren't going to help very much. Let's get an update now on where Dorian is headed. WNBC's Maria LaRosa is with us this morning. Maria, a lot going on out there.
Absolutely, Harry. What you're looking at right now is a horrifyingly perfect tropical machine. There is nothing in its way. Powerful and heading right towards the Bahamas. It is a Category 5, maximum winds of 160 miles per hour, 225 miles east of West Palm Beach, Florida. Still on its slow westward movement at about 8 miles per hour. It is going to continue to slow down. That is the scary part, as you can see, coming in through the Bahamas tonight and through early tomorrow as a major hurricane, perhaps a Category 4. But look at how slowly it moves by Tuesday morning and then into Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday, still in the vicinity of the Bahamas as a major hurricane. This will be devastating. Then we expect it to take that turn, likely seeing that it is going to stay off the coast of Florida, but it is not out of the realm of possibility, so still stay on alert. Then continuing towards the southeast coast, including areas like Savannah and Charleston, need to pay close attention as we get into Thursday and then Friday, beginning to close in on the Outer Banks. Still as a hurricane at this point by Friday morning. Stay on high alert along the southeast coast and the Outer Banks. All of the hazards potential here, along with that storm surge, the heavy rain, and the gusty winds. Notice how even from far from the center, still a high likelihood of at least tropical storm gusts. We're talking 50, 60 miles per hour. And then, of course, Harry, the heavy rain potential here. Most of it staying off the shore right now, but that is according to the current forecast. That is why these areas with the potential for big flooding need to pay close attention in the coming days. Harry?
Big storm. Maria, thank you very much.